Hi guys, my name's Sean. Welcome to Walking with Shawnee. I wanted to let you know a little bit about what I'm trying to do. So a bit of background. I've just resigned from my job as a safety professional, and the end goal with this is to walk Lejog, which for those of you who don't know is Land's End, so in the deepest, darkest part of Cornwall, up to John O'Groats, so to the top of the UK. The reason I'm doing this, one, I think it's a great way to get back in touch with nature, work a little bit on mindfulness, but ultimately, through working as a safety professional, I've always liaised with companies who have spoken very, very highly of a charity called Mates in Mind. Now, what Mates in Mind do, they work with companies in the construction sector to try and break down the stigma and the barriers to talking about mental health. Now, some of the stats that go with this, so 700 people take their own life, unfortunately, in the construction sector each year in the UK. And I guess the thinking here is that traditionally you think in the construction sector, big burly guys, go and do the job, it's not it's not a normal thing to talk about how you're feeling inside, and that's exactly what Mates in Mind do to try and break that stigma. So for this charity, I'm going to be walking in aid of them. I posted the GoFundMe page on last Friday, and the response so far has been fantastic. Just a massive shout out to all of you who've contributed. So as of the moment, we're up to £950, which is great. I've set a target of 2,500. Whatever we make is whatever we make. It'll all be going to a good cause, but just from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for your support. Right, for most of you who know me already, you're probably shocked that the beard is gone. I do feel like I'm 12 again. It's very cold, but new chapter, new start. So today I'm starting off day one. So tonight at 8 o'clock I'm getting a train through to London, and then I'm getting the overnight train through to Penzance, which I'm really excited about. What I wanted today, just to kick things off, is just give you an idea of what I'm going to be taking. So of course, and maybe giving you a bit more about the journey. So typically, if you do it cycling, you're looking at just over 800 miles. The route I'm going to be doing is over 1,000. So it works to go into the terrain areas, so the beauty spots along the coast, very much back in nature. So I think it's projected 1,200. So with that, the ballpark plan I've got is to complete it in 62 days, which is of course going to involve a lot of walking. What I've also said, I'll see how I get on. Great if I finish in 62 days. If I stop along the way for rest days and that sort of thing, I've allocated myself about 3 months. Now, looking at the budget inside of this, what I've done is allocate myself £25 a day. Might sound not a lot, but my thinking with this is, if I sleep in a tent one night, a minimal food, that'll build up for the next day to possibly stay in a hostel if need be. So that's the plan I've gone for. But again, it could all change depending, how often I wild camp and how that tends to break down. So let me show you what I'm going to be taking with me. So actually, 35-litre bag. This is the recommendation I've had. Something that will allow you to get your essentials in, but not taking the kitchen sink. In terms of clothing, and this is one I was very, very interested about. I was thinking, okay, 5 t-shirts, 5 trousers, that sort of thing. On reading the guidebook I've got, it's very much went to 1 pair of walking clothes and 1 change really. So that's been eye-opening, but I've tried to follow it accordingly. So got our Peter Storm waterproof pullover for when it gets wet. I couldn't stop myself bringing this. Got to keep the red flag flying high. In Cooper we trust. So this will be my main pair of walking trousers. So again, I think these are Peter Storm. The great thing about these, they're detachable at the knee. So if you want to turn those into shorts, job's a good one. 1 pair of gloves. Depending, I'm heading out now in April. The weather at the moment is good, but it could turn. But just in case you need to be a little bit warmer. Here's the one everyone's been waiting for. Sean's pants. Light and breathable. So I've taken 3 pairs of boxers, and it's going to be 3 pairs of socks as well. So the thought of these, wear a couple, wash one. So just making sure that I've got the hygiene factor covered in, so I'm not walking around in the same pair of socks for days at a time. So 3 pairs. Nice warm hat. You never know, that does not look good. I'm going to take that off straight away. Never know when that's going to come in handy. I say excited. Excited is not the right word to put here. My balaclava. So I'll either be arrested in the course of wearing this, or you know, it'll keep me warm. It's the risk you got to take. Okay. I've got a pair of thermal trousers. Again, if it is cold where I'm on a couple of days, stick those under my main walking trousers. Again, just a backup shirt, had to be the Reds. And again, a good tip for these sort of trips, something that's light and breathable, like a golf shirt. So this is a Nike t-shirt, one of my old company shirts actually. Really good, light and breathable, just again, keeping it at a good temperature as you go. And the last bit of clothing I've got is undershirt. So again, if the weather just turned, need to keep myself warm, nice thermal underneath it. Okay, so that's clothing done and dusted. Now, on to my most exciting piece of kit. And something that's going to be so important for this journey is the shoes or the boots you're going to be doing it in. So I've chosen to go for a pair of Merrell Gore-Tex. So Gore-Tex, great level of waterproofing there. These are some of the most comfiest boots on the market. Again, I did a hike over the peaks maybe 2 years ago, just wearing normal trainers, and I think after 3 days my feet were in pieces. So again, you pay a little bit for these. I think I paid £120, but again, you're paying for the comfort and the durability and the waterproof. So they'll be my best friend during this journey. So some other bits and bobs that I've got here. And again, not wanting to make sure I'm taking too much, so this could potentially change. I'm going to do my final pack in a couple of hours. I did see these today in town. Binoculars. Again, I'd see it not as an essential and nice to have. Again, if the kit is a bit too weighty, they might go. But again, for the places I'm going to be going, just to give you that extra view of all the lovely spots I'm going to be walking by. Health and safety, got to practice what you preach. Actually, my company, I've just looked at ISN, sent out a fantastic Christmas gift last year, which was an amazing first aid kit. So what I've done, I've taken some bits from there and just put it into a condensed kit like this. Again, want to prepare, make sure that if the worst should happen, you've got good equipment. But again, wanted to make sure it's not going to weigh you down too much, so some great kit in there. Okay, toiletries, I mean, not too glamorous, just high level. So what I've actually done in here, I've actually got some supplements, just things that are going to keep the immune system high as I go. Again, just important to make sure you look at the nutrition side as you go. And then nothing too crazy or sexy out of that. Got some hand warmers, some feet warmers as well. Some protein bars, again, just if you're on long periods and you're needing that energy, just give you a big boost. Something I absolutely love, the Kendall mint cakes. In Cumbria, if you ever get the chance to get Kendall mint cake vodka, oh, game changer. A little bit of sun cream in here as well. Again, I'm not taking a massive hat, so I want to make sure that I'm protected as I go. So just a little compact one I've got here. Something for the blister side of things, so a bit of Vaseline if that's needed. And then adding to that, so you've got your hand sanitizer in here, a couple other bits of snacks, some deodorant. Good, you don't want to be taking up too much space, so a compactable toothbrush, again, just to make sure I can ensure there's hygiene along the way as well. I think that is about it. So, little extra gadgets and gidgets. Is gidgets a word? I have no idea, let's go with it. Some extra gidgets I've got. So, I'm going old school. My old iPod, can't remember what version it is, 4 GB, wow. You know, just on the walks, you know, have some classic, you know, cheesy Westlife, Boyzone, that sort of thing, essential for a journey. I've got a phone case, just to keep it waterproof. Important again with the terrain I'm going to be going on, you know, can't really factor in for having the best sort of weather, so just making sure your most valuable boots, you've got some way to keep them dry. With that as well, especially with the wild camping I'm planning to do on some occasions, just having a power bank, making sure, again, keeping your phone top. In terms of the safety side of things, I had seen clips about possibly using a GPS system. I'm going to keep it with my phone. Anyone looking to do a similar journey such as this, I've used the Find My iPhone app and share that with my family just so they can know where I'm at every point. I've also set up, if you haven't heard from me, in 3 days, you know, something's probably wrong. Again, just in terms of the security side of things, just always make sure that somebody knows where you're going to be going. I'm going to be using these YouTube videos as I go, just to let you guys know where the progress is. But again, on the safety side, just you know, touch wood. There we go. You know, there's a record of where I've been, but again, keeping it positive, I'm sure everything will be fine. Okay, and the last bit. So I'm going to be taking my prescription glasses, but prescription sunnies as well. Just you know, make sure when you are walking, you know, there's going to be bits of sun coming at you. Just making sure you can see well, and for style points as well. Am I right? Don't answer that. Okay. So we've got the gadgets. We've got the gadgets. Sleeping bag. Something here. It actually smells like Lush. I don't know why. So with this, I've gone for a compact one that's quite firmly intrinsic. Again, I'm just making up sayings now. Again, going to keep you warm, but again, you don't want to have something that's going to be taking up loads of room in your pack. This very much going to be the Bible. Be close up. So this has mapped out the route I'm going to take, and it takes us 62 days. So it's walking the end-to-end trail. It basically gives you that 62-day plan. Gives you a good heads up in terms of what sort of things you want to be taking and considerations towards keeping yourself safe, the security side of things. I've got to say, planning this trip initially, I had a few ideas how I was going to do it. You know, that's very much been superseded by this. I think it was 18 quid on Amazon, but again, something that's going to be invaluable. Even if you want to deviate from the routes, it's got maps in here, it's got points of interest, but always good to arm yourself with something that's going to just safeguard you, you know, if you do need to make a change. So, Trip Bible. In terms of a towel, I got this quite a few years ago actually when I was in Australia. So this is I can't remember the technical name for it, but it's a quick drying compressible towel. So if you need to use it, you can put it over your backpack when you walk in, just to keep it, you know, dry in the sun if you do need to dip off and have a bit of a swim or whatever. Something that's actually really important to me. So in my previous job, I was a mental health first aider, and again, for the reason I'm doing this trip, I'm really seeing it as a really good chance for myself to reset a little bit, and again, to work on my own mindfulness. I think in this day and age, it's always something that's really important, just to stop and reset, because you know your life is very busy. So what I'm going to be taking with me is a 31-day mindfulness challenge. Just ways to do little challenges, you know, day by day, just to make you appreciate what's going on around you and to become one, you know, with your environments. Something again with this, I will be documenting on my phone, but I'm going to try as best as possible to maybe cut off from, you know, checking Facebook every day, you know, scrolling through, checking the sports news. Just important again, just to go back to basics and reset. So really excited for this one. Okay. Some essentials when I'm while camping, and shout out to my good friend Alison. Got me this lovely tent attachment light and this lovely mug for when I'm on the road, again with an attachment there so I can clip onto the side of my gear. Again, shout out to Kay. So got this lovely hiking book, again allows me just to track my progress, to make notes, important things I need to know while I'm away. Again, you want to make sure you've got things that are going to keep yourself busy, especially, you know, if you choose to camp for a night or you're in a hostel. Just making notes and planning. So you know, I've taken a couple of pens and a book just to put my notes down there as well. Something as well, so I am a first aider, but I think I've taken just a very scaled down book, you know, just in terms of how to dress wounds, you know, if the cut's going that way, what direction you want the bandage to go. Just, you know, I'm going to touch wood again, in case something should happen, just to give me some steps on how I can sort of rectify that and stuff. So good inclusion there. Okay. We're getting pretty close, I promise. So there's a phone charger in there, which I'm put into my power bank. Something that is going to be really important, so a backpack sack. So again, a waterproof sort of a waterproof sack that's going to go over your backpack. If it is raining, it means that all your valuables, all your clothes are going to keep dry. So again, these scale down really small, so you can just chuck it in your case, but really valuable to have. For the hostels I'm going to be staying in, just a lock there. And last but by no means least, we've got a torch. So, I mean, again, with that, there's probably things that I should be taking that I'm not. The way I'm filming this video, I've got a selfie stick with a tripod, but I've tried to keep it minimal as much as possible. I'm really excited for this, for the personal benefits, but also, you know, for raising money for Mates in Mind. Again, that's the thing that's driving this challenge. So yeah, the plan. In T minus, I'm not wearing a watch, but I'll look at my wrist anyway. In a few hours, I'll be getting the train to London and then on to Penzance, and I'm going to be really excited just to do that and just to get away. In terms of my first night, so once I get to Penzance, I'm going to get a bus over to Land's End. And then, so day one on my route, it takes me a little bit shy of St Ives. I'm going to push on and try and get to St Ives. I booked a hostel there for the night, just to make sure on the first night I'm set up, I can get back, I can check my kit before going again and get a good night's sleep. But last thoughts from me, again guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the contributions you've made. It's been very overwhelming, and all the support I've had from friends, family and colleagues, so I'm really grateful. I'll do my best to keep you updated with videos, where I'm at, some of the beauty spots, and see if I can do a few funny gags along the way. But with that, I look forward to speaking to you soon.